Your online presence should be a reflection of really where you are and where you're going. And it doesn't need to be the end result or the finished product, but just a journey. And I think that's what's working on social media right now in terms of authenticity. It's just being like honest about where you are on the journey, sharing that journey with your audience. Like one thing I shared with someone the other day, they were basically saying to me, well, I have all these different elements of my business and the difficulty I'm finding is like, how do I put this and this and this and this and this and not confuse my audience? Should I just niche down? Should I have multiple accounts? And I just said to her, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Like she was saying, should I do like 6 weeks of one area of content and then 6 weeks of the other? And I said, well, if you just do 6 weeks of one area of content and then you don't do it for like 3 times 6, your audience are going to be really confused because imagine someone starts following you because of that piece of content, then you don't do it for 18 weeks. They're going to be like, oh, so is that even what you're about? So what you're better off doing is just being honest. I am a multi-business owner and my business spans these areas. And so my content pillars are going to touch on all these different areas of my life. That's probably going to be a better way to share your truth and just being honest about it. There's strategy behind that, by the way. Like you don't want to confuse your audience. You don't want to be all over the place. And there's ways that you can make sure your strategy shares that in a way that isn't going to overwhelm people. But I think just not trying to like, we are humans, right? Like at the end of the day, social media is an extension of humanity. Like it's what we're using right now as a tool. Human beings are multifaceted. A lot of the people we're working with, they're multi-business owners or they have loads of different interests. Businesses might have different revenue streams. You can be strategic in presenting the truth and do it in the right way without losing who you are and without confusing your audience. It's just, that's where strategy comes in how you present yourself on social media.
I love that. And the way, as you were speaking just then, it made me think of when you look at a situation or content or just something that you want to create, when it's in close-up, it's intimate, it could be dramatic, it could be intense, but when it's zoomed out, when you look at a situation from a distance, it could be quite humorous, it could be quite distant, it could be something that, makes the audience feel like, oh, I had a glimpse, right? And then they can come in and have the close shot of my day-to-day, the close stories,
I think like loads of the social platforms have created room to build that community. So like broadcast channels, like private communities, like that's all possible. So you don't always have to put the full detail to like the wider audience. You can bring it to an intimate group. And I like that idea, like, because that's a really great way of kind of like what you're saying, I think, is that you can just sort of give people a taste. And then if you want to, you can bring them further closer, but you don't have to.
You don't have to.
It's like one of the things that we've decided is that for like our public accounts, we're not going to like share our daughter's face.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean I can't share her on my socials. I just share, I'm just strategic in how I share photos of her, like with, her not looking or things like that. Or I even put a little emoji on her face. So I just use that as an example. Just because you only want to share an element of something or just one, like a slight look into it, doesn't mean you have to completely exclude it. It's just like being strategic on how you do it. And that's just one example of doing that.
But there's like a massive audience of parents that actually would love that. Would actually go, oh, I'm going to follow Georgia because that resonates with me. I also did the same thing on my profile. And maybe that will give them ideas of how to share that message without showing their kids' face.
Well, it's like a lot of creators right now are creating faceless YouTubes, faceless social media platforms. And they're doing that probably because they want to maintain that bit of privacy, but they still want to share what they have with the world.
Absolutely.
I think that's actually, if that suits you, that's your way of doing it. And like for businesses can sometimes be like faceless brands and still use faces, or they like whether that's using like AI or using UGC content. So like there's ways that you can add like a human touch without like the owners, for example, being the face of the brand.
Absolutely.
Is that still authentic? Yes. It's just a decision that you've made on how you want to present it. So I think it's a bit of an iceberg, like when we're talking about this topic, because it's like it's deeper and deeper and deeper as we go into it. But I think it's like a really great starting point, because I think it comes back to the whole idea when it comes to social media is you have so much freedom and opportunity to do what suits you and your brand.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you have to follow the crowd, or don't feel like you have to copy someone else. Be your true self, and that's gonna, or be like, if you're a business, walk your path, what's that saying, stay in your lane, just stay in your lane, don't keep jumping to do what others are doing. If it suits you to, for example, not show your face, don't feel like empowered, don't feel like you have to show your face.
The pressure, right?
But equally, if you want to have a personal brand, don't feel like you have to do it just the same as someone else did it. Right? There's room to do it how you want to do it.
Absolutely. And I just want to add to that, because everybody has a story and they have something to say, and there's space for people. I think often we feel the pressure of Stephen Ballett is doing the podcast. Why should I start a podcast? Or this person has a radio. Right? They have a video marketing agency, or they have this, that, and the other. Reality is they might, but his story is what makes it authentic and brings his audience. And you also have a story, touching back on your kind of law experience, being a lawyer, then becoming an entrepreneur, then a mom, then a multiple business owner. There is so much value and things that you can add to audiences that are just starting out in this space, or maybe haven't started, but they had the burden of going, I thought about this, I want to start it.
And I love that, and that's always been my attitude. I'm not someone that thinks a market's too infiltrated or there's too many podcasts. Actually, I completely agree with that point. We've all got a message. We've all got something we want to give to the world. And even if what you have to share only helps one person, then you've still helped a person.
You like to say you have a piece or there's a piece of the pie for you.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's there's a piece of the pie for everyone, and it's not that there's not enough pie to go around. It's actually that you can claim your piece and put it out there. So I think with social media, you might think, there's so many mum influencers, or there's so many forex traders, or there's so many property guys on social media. Well, that doesn't mean that you aren't going to resonate. Also, I think people think they don't think this, but I think it's a subconscious thing. Oh, so-and-so is a person who's in the exact same niche space arena as I am, and they have 250,000 followers. Yeah. I only have 10,000 followers. Yeah. But his 250,000 followers aren't going to be but if that's their area of interest, they're not going to be I'm only going to follow this guy and I'm not going to follow this person. If you deliver value, they're going to follow you too, because you're still going to give something that they want to hear about. So it's not that followers are exclusive. That his 250,000 followers could easily become your followers.